We're back again with Sports Club Florida and Listen to Low, the Florida Citrus Sport High School Football Meeting. And we're here right now with the head coach, Kathleen, Coach Saul. Coach, what's going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm glad to be here. Glad to get out here and expose my team and talk about the exciting things we got going on at Kathleen High School.
Well, no, Coach, I tell you one thing. I know you're excited to talk about it because you sure dressed the part of the day.
Oh, for sure.
Right here.
What Dion say, if you look good, you
Feel good.
And if you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good.
There it is right there, Coach. I like that right there. I like that right there. I'll tell you one thing. But you know what's really more important than that? The players see you.
Right.
They see a standard. They see expectation. They see what it looks like to dress up, to prepare for an interview. That's what we call it, too. Right. I mean, they can dress down today because they're doing an interview, but you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Exactly.
Right? So it's bigger than just the jeans and the shirts hanging off the butt and the slide. Time change when you walk into an interview to get that job.
Yes, sir.
Shake a man's hand, look him in the eye.
Right.
Right. So that question is that's what we're building at Kathleen?
That's what we're trying to build. So this year, I kind of took a step back. Obviously, last year didn't go as planned. So it's kind of took a step back and say, well, how can we get our program to move forward? What can I do as the head coach to move our program in the right direction? So outside of just we're lifting weights and we're going to change this on offense, defense, et cetera, et cetera. But how do we grow them as young men? So over the past, we've been reaching out to different and local organizations and things to try to get them some character education. So we're implementing some financial literacy programs in the fall. We have some local men from the community come in and teach them life lessons in the fall. So we're looking for ways to develop them not only on the field, but more importantly, off the field.
You know what? I tell you, having that mentality versus just staying strictly football, it'll change on a young man. I always have this saying when my son leave the house and go play for this football coach, I want to make sure that he's going to continue what I want for him. I want him to be a great husband. I want him to be a great father. I want him to be a great man. But I definitely want to be a great football player like his daddy. You know what I'm saying? But I know, and that's the mindset. That's what I'm hearing right now. And it's hard to get that nowadays because most programs, they're keeping it real. They want the instant gratification, right? I mean, but then they ask you to coach, they ask you to develop. Then now we're struggling to coach and develop. But then the kids want instant gratification. But, you guys last year, I think you guys went like 1-9. But then we didn't say, okay, that's it, throw in the towel. What we're going to do different next year? How are we going to change that? How do we feed off that and for next year? So that question now is, what's the plan? It's off season, and it says no off season. What's the plan for Kathleen? How do we get back to the winning ways? How do we get the kids to the next level? What's the plan?
Well, the plan is simple. We go by our motto, be red. RED is an acronym. So first, be resilient. We want to build a group of resilient young men, not only on the field, but off the field. Because at the end of the day, that time in the fourth quarter when you're tired and you got to perform, it's the same thing in life. You're going to be a father one day, and your kids going to need Pampers, they're going to need food, and you got to provide. So we want to build that resiliency in through football because that's how I was taught. And I've had those same things come through, and I want to instill that in my young men. We want to be exceptional, exceptional on and off the field. It's not good enough to get a C and say I passed in class. What can I do to get a B? What can I do to get an A? And we want to ultimately instill that in our kids so that way whenever they do eventually leave us, they're going to be exceptional in everything that they do. So when they go to that job, they're not just stuck with just going in, clocking in, and leaving. They're going to be exceptional. They're going to be employee of the year, employee of the month, and eventually they're going to be running the whole company.
Right.
And then last but not least, discipline. Discipline going to take you far along than talent. So we want to be disciplined on and off the field. We don't want to make the stupid penalties, the stupid bonehead mistakes, but also just being disciplined around the campus and off the field. So when you're around campus, that's a Kathleen football player because that Kathleen football player is going to be in the front in class. He's going to do what he's supposed to do in class. He's going to be a leader and influence the whole school because at the end of the day, football has the ability to influence a whole school and a whole community. Like when your football team is good and your football team represents itself correctly, you can change the whole community, and that's what we're striving to do here at Kathleen.
Well, I tell you one thing, that answer there just sums it up for me, because most coaches, I keep it so real when I'm doing my shows, right? Because we're gonna get in the weight room, we're gonna get bigger, stronger, and faster. We're gonna run up down these hills, we're gonna run in some water, we're gonna dive in the ocean, we're gonna run through the sand. They're gonna do it all that, but red, totally different. Red stands for something. It's pride. Take pride in that red, the tradition, all that there matters. That one word, red. And they break down each one RED, right? So we're thinking about life after football. Right. We're thinking about what's going to happen if you don't go to play football and you go to a job force, or just go to college, you go to college. All that matters. So what are we doing? We're developing. But at the same time, though, if I'm developing in that way, if I'm following our tradition of the word red, and I'm at practice, I'm instilling that into them, we can win some games.
Exactly.
But all they got to do is not buy in. They need to be already bought in. Kathleen football players, how they bought in?
I believe they have this year. And, to your point about instant gratification, I feel like we fell a little bit into that last year. Going into the year, we felt we had a lot coming back. We're going to get bigger, faster, stronger. We're going to lift the hardest. We're going to put, we fell into a lot of that. And I felt like because we didn't have the structure and the procedures in place, you fall to the level of your procedures at the end of the day, because motivation ain't always be there. So this year, I feel like we took a step back. We looked ourselves in the mirror, me particularly. Where can we improve at? And I feel like our team this year is a lot more together. I feel like they hold each other accountable more. They do a lot of self-policing, and I tell them this all the time. We can be good if we lead you as coaches. But in order to get where you want to go, or you want to compete, go to the playoffs, and, all right, we want to go to state, y'all have to police yourselves. Y'all have to say, hey, man, you're not holding up the Kathleen football standard. You're not being red. You're not being resilient, exceptional, disciplined.
Right.
You have to uphold that standard. And at the end of the day, if they're doing that, which I feel like they have, and I'll give a prime example. So we have a weight room rules, right? So the first rule that our strength and conditioning coordinator implemented was every kid has to have a T-shirt on. So one of our kids, they were doing maxes, and they took off their shirt. Mm-hmm. And one of our young guys, right, rising 10th graders, just came back. Hey, man, you got to put on a shirt. He's like, no, man, you got to put on a shirt. That's the rule. And right then, it's like, that tells me that we're clicking, because no coach had to tell him, hey, he needs to put on a shirt. You went and told him. And that was a young guy telling an older guy. So that's when you really know that, hey, your system and everything is starting to work. So I believe our kids have bought in. They're policing themselves, and I believe we're a lot more together than we have been.
Well, cool. I just based on with that alone, I can see next year going to be a better year, right? We're going to move into the right direction, because they have bought in. And I know you got some of your players here with you today. Got a young man sitting there right there like he definitely bought in. Tell me about this young man right here.
All right, so next coming up, Ethan MacArthur. So he's been with us all 4 years. Back when I was a JV head coach, I had him as a 9th grader. And instantly, that first summer when I saw him work out, I was like, this kid is going to be special. This kid just had a work ethic and a knack and a love for football that you can't teach. He plays football with a passion. He plays football with an edge. He's an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. So you always want a lineman that you have to say, all right, whoa, calm down.
Calm down, boy.
Then you have to try to get him up. Yeah, we definitely been working on that with him. But kid's been a leader. The kid's been loyal to the program. And I'm definitely excited to get him up here to talk and see him perform this year.
That would sound like good. Well, Coach, thank you for coming up. Ethan, come on. All right, guys. So we got Ethan MacArthur right here in front of us. Kathleen, both sides of the ball.
Yes.
Folks say you play both sides of the ball. Now, I haven't been in a high school that plays both sides of the ball, unless it's a Catholic school or a private school. They ain't got but 20, 30 players. You at Kathleen, y'all the big school. What you doing playing both sides of the ball in high school?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it. I mean, I don't get tired. I love it. I love the work. I love everything I do. I love everything that comes with the sport. And I enjoyed it so much. I was like, hey, coach, give me a chance to play both sides. I promise I'll produce. And I feel like I have produced doing it. So therefore, I have not came off yet.
So wait a minute. You telling me you went to the coach and said, I want to play both sides of the ball in the trenches probably a harder position on the field because you got to block and then come back and try to get to the quarterback. And you got 300 pounds, just all that 500 pound going at it. You asked him to play both ways in high school?
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
were
sir.
you thinking?
And I just love it. I mean, yeah, there's competition out there, but I have a good enough mindset to know that if I play the best I can beat anybody I want to. So I don't look at it that way. I just see it as another person in my way.
Right. So I love that quote that I think Tim Tebow, like, hard work beat talent when talent doesn't work hard. So when you line up on both sides of the ball, they know you working hard.
Yes,
But about it. So the ones out there not really working hard, they line up, he on both sides of the ball. He going to get tired, and you get right up under him and get him up out there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
man. So let's talk about the new year, right? We had a year with 1-9. We could easily move it around and went other places. I mean, a guy like you, come on. Playing both sides of the ball, bring him to me.
Yeah.
Loyalty, stayed there, right? And for opportunity to make a difference. What's the plan for you and the team that make a difference? Because you already bought in to coach.
Yeah.
What's the plan?
Plan, I mean, keep on buying in, and everything we're doing now, I mean, honestly, we got it all laid out right now. I mean, fall camp, it starts Monday, and that's really when we're going to see, all right, we're here now, let's go. And I really feel like they're all ready. Everybody, even them two right there, they've bought in. They bought in a lot more than they have. And I just feel like just that bought in part is going to make it way better than it's ever been. We're definitely going to win a lot more. And I know they hear it every year, but it's for real this time. It's just it this year.
You believe?
I believe it 100%. Like, I'm all in on it. Not just because it's my senior year. I could be a sophomore right now. I completely believe it.
Yeah.
I believe we're going to be something this year. And we're going to turn a lot of heads.
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing. When you believe, others start to, come with you. Like, it's what the word I'm looking for. It's trickle down, right? Become contagious.
Yeah.
Right. I believe like an echo. Right? So now everybody believing. You out there doing your thing, offense side of the ball, defense side of the ball. Everybody believing. They seeing it getting done. Know what? You in the weight room getting done. They in the weight room getting it done, right?
Yeah.
Somebody got to lead by example, and that's what you're doing, and that's why you're sitting right here now talking, representing the team and representing Kathleen.
Yes,
so,
sir.
hey, listen, good luck for the rest of the season. I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. Anything possible, you continue to believe. And remember, believe in that red
Devils, Red Devils.
Red Devil.
Big Red. Big.
Man, thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wheel, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care if I crash, long as I stick to the plan.